So there's a couple of parts to this. I think firstly, we should look at the strategic partnerships, and I emphasize the word partnerships. I think, of course, there will always be an element of procurement around these discussions, but really a retailer needs to have the right level of partnership supporting that supply chain, particularly during these very volatile times. So a partner they can trust, a partner who has a track record and some expertise in the retail field. Secondly, on a more operational level, then a retailer really needs to know how much capacity do they have, not just on the ocean or inland, but for the whole end-to-end supply chain. And then how do they scale up and scale down? Do they have alternative entries into the US? Do they have alternative modes of transport? So whether that be air or rail or cross-border or ocean, how can a retailer make sure that they meet market? Of course, there has been a big growth in nearshoring. We're yet to see what the new administration and their discussions on tariffs, what that will mean. But really, a great deal of scenario planning needs to happen. It's very difficult to cover all eventualities, but because who knows what might happen with China, with Mexico and the tariffs, or more geopolitics in terms of perhaps Panama being impacted, or Taiwan, and that impact on China. So a whole load of scenario planning needs to happen as to what could be the alternatives to reach the market. So omnichannel, of course, has been around for some time now, and it's really pivotal for all retailers to have that omnichannel presence. It allows the retailer to have, I would say, a dynamic value proposition rather than a fixed or static one. So as the market changes and consumer requirements change, or as the external world changes, then a retailer can pivot and adapt their supply chain accordingly. It does bring about certain complexities, which are not easy to navigate, but if it's done right, then of course an omni-channel strategy, it will provide data on customer preferences in terms of where do they want their stock, through what channel, how much of it, and at what time. And those elements provide the backroom operation with far more visibility for demand planning and forecasting, which all will help the resilience of a supply chain. So they can predict what mode of transport is required, when, and in what quantity, and in what location.